Hi, my name's Joel Simmons. I'm the author of You Have a Kind Face. It's about my career in the fire service. And I'm just going to make a video once a week, maybe twice a week, and share a few stories from the book, hoping to get the word out. I think you'll enjoy it. You can find it on Amazon, bookstores, wherever any books are sold. It's called You Have a Kind Face. I had a patient one time tell me that a long time ago, almost 30 years ago when she said that now. And it just stuck with me because I don't think I have a kind face. Most people think I'm quite serious most of the time, even though I'm usually not. But it just kind of stuck with me. It was a nice compliment, actually. But anyway, I wrote the book. I didn't write a book. I kept a journal throughout my career. Went for service with various fire departments, but mainly with the Houston Fire Department. My more unusual calls that stuck with me, calls that are hard even today after years to bring up. I wanted my grandchildren one day to read what Pawpaw did. And, I think it was therapeutic, to be honest with you, on some stories. So, let me just start this by saying I don't think I'm anyone special. I know the fire service well, and I know that there'll be half of the guys out there, firefighters, fellow firefighters, first responders, that'll say, who does he think he is? Well, to answer that, I don't think I'm anybody. The other half will say, man, that's good. I should do the same thing. And I encourage you to do the same thing. Firefighters, policemen we live in a different world at work. And I encourage you to write down these things and keep a journal. And so without further ado, I'll get started with the first couple of stories. I'm 52 now, so put on my reading glasses here. Chapter 1, Station 23, Fresh Off the Farm. My first assignment was to Fire Station 23, located near Lawndale and Broadway on the Houston Ship Channel. At the time, I lived in Clear Lake, and I chose 23s because it was somewhat close to where I lived. On a side note, fire stations are it sounds like you're saying plural, 23s, 9s, 26s, 28s, all stations I worked at. But it's not plural. It shows possession, as in that is Engine Company 23's fire station. That is Engine Company 28's fire station. So it's possessive, right? 23s, 28. I didn't think about being a firefighter until one day my best friend Josh said, hey, I'm applying to HFD. Do it with me. I said, okay. And that was honestly all the thought I gave to it. And that's true. I never thought about it before. I just graduated from A&M and was actually pursuing a career in the Air Force as an officer. And it came down, took the AFOQT, everything in line, the qualification course, and I was a week before getting boarded for a commission in the Air Force. And at the same time, I'd been applying, going through the process for HFD. And HFD offered me a spot in the next academy. And so I had to weigh career Air Force, career firefighter. And obviously I chose the fire department. All right. Going into the service, I knew I was going to see people as they died and right after they died. But I had to admit the number of dead people I made on scene surprised me. In the fire service, arriving on the scene is called making a scene. We made a fire, we made a car fire, we made a CPR, we made a gunshot, etc. Going to do CPR, making suicides and fatalities of all kinds became very much just part of the job. I was nudged in this direction the night I graduated from the academy. On the way to my Aunt Missy's house in Pasadena for a celebration party, we passed right by Engine 23 and a deformed, mangled body in the middle of Loop 610. Before I had even reported the 23s, I quote unquote made a fatality with them. I found out the next morning that the victim was a female who tried crossing the loop and, needless to say, did not make it. The next story, maggot samples. This is my first dead body. I had maybe my third shift, maybe my second shift. I was brand new, fresh off the farm, right? Straight out of the academy. My first dead body that I got up close and personal with was a male of unknown age upstairs in a garage apartment. It was several days before anyone noticed him missing, but the telltale flies on the window and faint smell on the outside gave it away, so neighbors called it in. And that's, I've made several homes with bodies, with deceased people at certain stages of decomposition. And when you walk up to the house, if you see a bunch of flies on the window, it's pretty good bet, especially in the heat of like Houston, that they've been dead for a while. Opening the door to the stairway brought a burst of rotten stench that only confirmed the suspicion. I was proud of myself for not barfing on the way up the stairs the entire time. What we found was, in my rookie mind, I thought was a black male who had been there for several days in the Houston heat. I later learned it was indeed a white male, as flesh has a habit of turning black during the process of decay. You know, I'm not new to decaying flesh. You see critters on the side of the road. I'm a deer hunter. You see dead animals all the time, but human body is kind of a different type of thing on that. The body was bloated and festering with maggots and flies. I was thankful we did not have to do anything with it, for this was now a case for HPD and the coroner. Outside while waiting for my partner to finish his record, another one of the crew came up to me and told me that the police needed maggot samples. I was a rookie, so it fell to me, is what he said. My first thought was, man, I hope I don't barf going back up those stairs, because that smell was thick, man. I'm talking like the type of stench that just stays in your nostrils for a long time afterwards. But then I caught a slight smile on my partner's face and knew that they were messing with me. I laughed, but it was definitely a laughter of relief. So, yeah, that guy's name was Anthony. He was my senior pipeman. Taught me a lot, was a good guy. And Anthony, if you ever watch this, I appreciate you, man, to this day. But anyway, I'm going to try to post one of these videos once or twice a week and just share stories from my book, available on Amazon and bookstores. And I just appreciate it if you'd check it out. My name's Joel, and these are my stories.